So here I have another cooperative deck game here. So this isn't a real SWCCG game where two people be trying to win. The goal here, well, since in the first one the dark side got to destroy Hoth, here the light side's going to try to destroy the Death Star. And there's lots of ways to do this. Some of them are, you can just have both players draw up their entire deck and use reactor terminal to put stuff back. But going to try to get this done a bit quicker. And it's very helpful for the dark side here to use Swindled Me to help the light side get some more force. So if the light side blows up the Death Star, the dark side has to lose 2 force for each dark side icon at or on the Death Star. So those red lightsaber icons, I believe it's 2 force for each one. So the goal here is to get a lot of those Death Star sites out and a lot of those icons out, so that way the dark side has to lose force for them. And a pretty good hand to start out with. We got Luke. He's pretty necessary for an attack run. Shouldn't say totally necessary, but he's very helpful for an attack run. And it was important to get Ozzel out to use for luck to let me to pull more cards into hand. And we're trying to get some Yavin 4 sites out. In addition to just plain blowing up the Death Star, I wanted to also get the highest possible total attack run total, just to see how I could do that. So definitely let me know if there's cards I missed. Some I may have taken out on purpose just because I couldn't really fit them in or didn't want to fit them in because it would take too long to get everything out. But yeah, we'll see how high my attack run total is, and then we'll see the force loss, and we'll see how we get there. A really fun card when you're doing these cooperative kind of decks is a dangerous time, because basically the dark side, and some of you may know already that I'm playing both decks at the same time here, using my brother's account as the other player here. But yeah, a dangerous time lets the dark side rearrange the light side's force pile. So if you don't want to drop all the cards, it'll let the dark side put the cards that the light side wants to draw on the top. Or maybe, since I know that, hey, this turn I'm going to want to spend 7 force, I would put 7 cards on top of the force pile that I want to get recycled back into the deck after they're used, and then put the drawable cards underneath. So the dark side's trying to get as many dark side icons on the Death Star as possible to help the light side. And there's our 2 Presence of the Forces. So we've maxed out those. You can only have 2 of those on table at once. Okay, and we got Chief Bast and Tarkin. And now we can use the Dark Path to place 2 cards from the Lost pile on those sites that are now battlegrounds. So those added one icon each at those sites. Get more dark side icons on that Death Star. We're going to see a lot of point man in this game. Helps the dark side recycle cards they don't need and pull cards that they actually do want. But I suppose when you're drawing everything, well, not everything, but we're drawing almost everything, it's not such a big deal to use point man. Okay. So he adds to the attack run total, I believe, or has something to do with it, yeah. One at a war room. So this is one of those cases where I could have added another character instead of him, because I want to get somebody at this Yavin Foresight too. It doesn't have to be anyone specific, but I wanted to get somebody here, because if you control your attack run totals +2. So any random character might have worked. So Prophecy of the Force is going to add some icons. So he's there. He's not adding one because he's at the war room, but just because somebody's there, he's adding two. And I got to get a leader there to add one. He's going to add one. And now I've flipped the objective. Can I take anything to hand? Nope, nothing good. But while I'm there, I'm going to search, get some sights into hand. Might as well get out red 5 now while I can, before I activate it later. That's the original red 5, so he's adding, that adds 1 to the attack run total. That adds 2 more icons to the Death Star. Retrieve some force back with Walker sighting. All tunnel visions. Gives me more force to work with. More Death Star sights out. What's that card I just took with C3PO? Oh, another C3PO finder, so not super useful. Okay, so now what I gotta do is the light side is stack that war room with rebel techs. And this guy, he doubles their bonus to the attack run. It's only at the war room. It does take quite a while to draw online sometimes when you want to draw cards. And try to put some advanced preparations back. Just to, I mean, you could of course finagle it so you draw 7s, but so I guess that's one way I could have made my attack run total higher, but it's I think more fun to draw advanced preparation when you're doing an attack run theme wise. All right, and the dark side's going to help us out here by rearranging the force pile, so that way whatever gets deployed, those cards can go back into the deck, in the reserve deck, and then the cards I actually want to draw, those will go back. Those will be there waiting for me when it's time to draw. So we got Biggs and red 3. I could have put Wedge on there, but I chose Tyree and Gold 2 instead because that adds 1 to the total of attack run. I've always kind of liked Gold 2. Y-Wing with extra maneuver. It's definitely a cool looking picture. Get these rebel techs out there. So because of Colonel Fangaspi, each one of those is adding 2 to the attack run total. There's attack run. We got our old times. That's going to help us when we make the attack run. Lots of Death Star sites coming out now with lots of dark side icons. And one of the reasons I didn't start with the dark side objective that lets you just go get Death Star cards is that the light side Death Star, when it's blown away, dark side loses +8 force. So it's going to be a higher force loss total if we get the light side out there, light side one out there somehow. There's the Death Star. Haven't really used the 1 in a million side of the objective to go get stuff yet, just because I've been missing every time with the things I wanted to get. We got all our boys at Yavin ready to go. They have enough hyper speed. Attack runs out now. Of course, we got to wait a turn because it's a regular move to make an attack run. That's one of the nice things about the replays is we don't have to wait for the dark side to put every single card back. It just kind of fast forwards through that. Okay, so we got our 3 amigos at the Death Star. I think I got all the Death Star sites out. Go straight to the attack run now. Everyone moves to the trench. Luke's in the lead, of course. He's got the proton torpedoes. We can play old times to add an attack run destiny. I think it's kind of interesting how that happens right away. You kind of draw that before you do other things in regards to the attack run. And then you're done with old times. And then you move on to the rest of the attack run. I was kind of surprised I couldn't use You're All Clear, Kid. I thought I was able to use that here. So add 1 to total of attack run if lead starfighter is matching pilot aboard. So maybe I missed the opportunity to play that, or maybe it's hasn't been coded because I don't know if anyone's ever actually used that card. At least tried to in the online play. All right, and I forgot, what do we need to do? Oops, that was a weird time to pause it. I believe it was another 6. We'll see, but I wanted to double check what we're supposed to get. We need to get greater than 15 is the goal. So, okay, yep, there it is. It's a 6. So we drew, and we add 1 to it. Oh, that's interesting. The advanced preparation there was a 6. It says add 1 destiny to your attack run total, and this says your epic event destiny draws are +1. So I guess the first one was not a 6 because it's just an interrupt. It's an interrupts destiny draw, whereas when you draw the 2 destiny for this, it's the epic events destiny draw. That's probably my guess. I'm guessing that's coded right. It just works differently. So we add 1 because it's a different type of card. Add 1 with that site. We're gonna move all our boys out. And it says what your total is, and the total is 42. So we need to get more than 15, and that ended up working. It looks like the dark side needed to lose 72 force, so that's gonna deplete most life forces most of the time. Yeah, so 72 is the highest force loss I was able to get for this. Maybe you can think of ways to add some more. It's definitely possible. I can think of a way to get 45 as the epic event total. Maybe there's even some more ways to do so. So if you can think of a way to get higher than 45 for the epic event total, or do higher than 72 in the force loss, I'd be interested in seeing that in the comments. But hopefully you thought this kind of silly idea with the Cooperative decks was fun to see, hey, how much force loss can we actually make one side lose for having the Death Star blown up. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.